Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Malena Edit. I am so excited to be joined today by Cleveland sports royalty herself, Gabb Goudy. She is a content creator for FanDuel, talks all things Cleveland sports. Great follow on Twitter, Instagram. You should definitely check her out. Gabb, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so when I think about you initially, I'm always like, this girl is just an expert at making, work look like play. She just has so much fun with her sports content and her creation. So, what does a day in the life look like for you?
Well, this might sound crazy, but my real job as of right now, I'm a chemist.
I didn't know
So
that. I
yeah,
didn't know
I know,
that.
no one knows that because that's why it's so much more fun. That's why I
Yeah,
make other things more fun because that's what I do like during the day, and that's what I've done for a really long time.
yeah,
Because I went to school for biochemistry, I wanted to go to med school. I said I don't like blood. I don't want to touch anybody. I need to do something else. So I did that. So the sports thing kind of came about as just like an escape from that and just like my fun space. And then I've turned it into money, which is cool. Yeah.
win-win.
Yeah.
I this makes me like you even more because to just be like a badass that's doing things all across the board. I went to school too for science. I was a kinesiology major, so
Yeah.
I learned very quickly. I was like, I'm not going
Yeah.
to
Like
med
it's
school.
cool. But at the
Yeah,
same time, this is fun in a different way. So
that's so I love that. That's amazing.
thanks.
Whoa, little truth bomb there. Okay, so then what do you do? What is your work with FanDuel? What do you do for them? When did you start? How'd you get
I
into it?
started in July. I started in July, and what I do for them, I create like different videos for TikTok. I like help them make some things for Twitter, some things for Instagram, but it's mostly just talking about sports through videos. It was kind of fun.
Nice, nice. Sounds awesome. So, how do you balance your roles? Now, I just learned that you're
Mm.
a chemist, so that's incredible full time. I'm sure that's not easy to balance. So, how do you manage that and travel, posting on social, keeping up with it all?
Well, I now work from home still. I haven't been in a lab in like over a year and a half, which is insane to me.
Do you miss it?
Yeah, like that part of it is more fun because right now I just do analytical things and take a bunch of numbers and do things like that. So yeah, like hands-on stuff way more fun, but the number stuff, I guess it's fine for now. But balancing it, I don't know. I know what I have to do. I get it done. And if I see something during the day, I just do like a quick little 5 minutes and make something for it because you know how like sports content is. You gotta if you see something, you gotta post it fast because you want to be the first one talking about it.
Exactly. So when did you kind of have that aha moment of okay, or was it not an aha moment? Was it just kind of like that quiet progression of okay, well, I was doing this for fun, but I'm actually good at it and I'm building a
Yeah,
following.
yeah. It was to be honest, it was on accident.
Yeah,
Like, the whole thing is
I
on
love that.
accident, like, it was just because I never used Twitter, I never used like, I had a Twitter because I was in a, like, sorority at one point, and
Right.
I had it because I had to look at different things and keep up with different things. I never posted on myself, and then I went to a Browns, like, the first scrimmage when Odell was here, and I
Mhm.
posted a picture of him on the sideline, and I said, "Things I'll never get tired of seeing," and that thing went, like, viral, and I got, like, 4,000 followers in one
Right.
day from just one photo, and I'm like my friends are like, "You say funny things about sports, you should try it." I'm like, "Okay, we'll see how it goes," and I started doing it, and I guess people enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so it's just effortless. It's natural for you. I love that. That is so cool. It's like you're obviously such an easy and fun follow, but it's so interesting to hear the background and kind of how it just happened. It was
It
just
just
right.
happened. It's crazy, but it's awesome, and I love it.
That's awesome. So what does your dream role look like if you're building a picture of your life in 5 years? What would you
Oh.
kind of paint for us?
I would love to have my own show where I can just talk about whatever I want. I want to, I'm going to, but I'm just doing a lot of planning for it.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to like help other people do what I'm doing too, like show people, hey, you can do this, you can do that. It's easy. Just you just have to do it. And you have to put stuff out there. And that's what another thing I want to do. I don't ever see myself being on like ESPN or anything like that. I'm a little too reckless for them. But I don't know. I just want to talk about sports and I want to talk to other people who are talking about sports.
I love that. I love that. And that actually leads right into my next question, which was what impact do you want to make? I feel like I love what I've drawn to so much about you is that you're just such a champion, like a true champion. There's some things I pick up. I'm kind of quiet, and like I've gotten, especially like in like
Mhm.
recent years, I just kind of pay attention, and I really can pick up on like authenticity. And you're authentically a champion for women in sports and just wanting
Thanks.
to be unapologetically yourself. And it's really cool to see, because I think some people
Yeah.
are like team women, and you're like, are you really? And then you just meet people that are just walk the walk. And I feel like you are absolutely that person. So what impact do
Oh
you want
gosh,
to
that
make?
means so much. Thanks. Yeah, but well, like women's sports, obviously big advocate for that.
Yeah.
But what I want to be able to do, because I know like it's hard to be a woman in any workplace, to be
Yeah,
honest.
from even being a science major. Yep.
Yeah, any workplace, it's difficult. It's challenging. You have to push a little bit of boundaries, and sometimes you're scared to do that because you don't know what the repercussions are going to be.
Right.
But I just want to make it for other women in sports people to say what they want to say. Like you can see all these guys, like there's men that are hilarious, like guys that are on like Pardon My Take. I love that show,
Mhm.
but you don't see any other women doing that because as soon as they push into that boundary, they receive backlash. But I want more women to be able to do that, like express your opinions about sports. Like, who cares if you're not sitting there being a sideline reporter? You can have other opinions in that too than reading off a screen. It's like another thing you see the women on any show, like ESPN, you go on FS1, like First Take, The Herd, you see all these women and they're asking the questions, but they're not really answering them. And I want more women to be able to answer the questions instead of asking the questions only.
Love that. And being able to kind of have hot takes
Yeah.
even, and like without it just being like, oh, it's because she doesn't know what she's talking about. And
Oh
it's
my
like,
God, she's a
well,
woman. That's why she's saying that.
right.
No,
Exactly.
it's because I know what I'm talking about.
I love that. I love that. How and when did you become a Cleveland specifically sports fan, specifically the Browns though?
Birth.
Oh,
Like
ooh, okay.
I've been a Cleveland fan my whole life.
Love
My
that.
dad has been, well, I've lived in Ohio my whole life also.
Okay.
So, except for school, I went to school in Pittsburgh, which is a whole different thing. But
Got
yeah,
it.
I've been a Cleveland fan my whole entire life. I've been going to specifically the baseball games. I've been going to those since I was probably like 5 years old with my dad and my family. And it's, yeah, it's just been Cleveland forever.
Cool, cool. So that was actually what I was going to ask, because I remember seeing something on my timeline about, no, I moved. I'm in Cleveland now. So
Mhm.
you live now in Cleveland.
Yeah, I live
Cool.
downtown Cleveland. I have a
Nice.
good time. Yeah, I have a really good time down here. Yeah,
Nice.
I lived in Pittsburgh before
Okay.
for a few years. It was crazy, like Steelers, Browns, you know.
Right. And so you're like, this is not for me. I have to get out of here as soon
Yeah.
as possible. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So how you like the life there? And then that I obviously would lend me into the draft is coming. So do you have what is the city like right now? Is there a little bit of buzz, especially we're coming off
Oh
a
yeah,
history
it's
year?
warm outside, so people are going outside now.
There we go. Okay.
There's like I don't know, like my first couple months here, there was like no one outside because obviously that was in August, September, and that's still like
The thick of, yeah, the
you
pandemic.
can't do anything, you can't go outside, like curfews at 10. Things are starting to open up a little bit now. Like we have a max vaccine clinic here.
Cool.
And they're doing like 6,000 a day. So more people are able to like go and do stuff. Like I got my second dose yesterday.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
similar to down here in Dallas,
Yes.
where things are finally opening back up and people are,
Yes,
yeah.
the things are opening. And just in time for the draft.
Boom.
Right.
Okay. So then what would you say? All right. If you're our tour guide in
Mhm.
Cleveland for this upcoming weekend, next weekend, what would you say we need to see? What bars and restaurants do we need to go to? What sites do we need to see? How do we experience Cleveland?
Some restaurants, there's like this street, it's called East 4th Street. There's like lights hanging above it. Every single restaurant on that street is amazing. It's delicious. If you like tacos that are cheap, you go to Barrio, you get a nice margarita there. You should go by the stadium, obviously, because the stadium and then the stage for the draft is right beside it. And then the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is there. It's on the lake. It looks really nice.
Nice.
And then if anybody has time, they should probably go to a Cavs game because there's two during that weekend too. And they have the nicest NBA arena I've ever seen.
Sweet. Cool. Good to know. Do you get to travel to a lot of like NBA and NFL like arenas? Do you have like favorites secretly that
I've been to a few. I have some friends that can get some tickets. So
Okay.
whenever they have them, I'm like, sure, I'll go. Like I went to a Heat game
Cool. Oh,
like
that's
a month ago.
yeah.
I've never been to one. That was my first one. And it was kind of like crazy because, you know, it's like Miami. You think everything's like bougie and fancy, but their arena was so bad.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know what?
But it's
I
classic,
feel like a
though.
lot, oftentimes, like cities
But
will
it's like a
surprise you.
classic thing for them, so they probably love it. But yeah,
Right. Right.
I go to
Exactly.
some games, some places. Just depends on what's happening. A lot of games here though, because they're cheap.
Fair. That's cool. Yeah. And they like kind of, I feel like different cities might let arenas get outdated
Yeah.
because it's just like, you're still going to come. There's like nostalgia now with
Yeah,
it.
like I would say like the Celtics similar.
Yes. Oh, I can
Yeah.
imagine. Okay. That makes sense to me too. That does make a lot of sense to
Yeah.
me. That's funny. Okay. So as a Browns fan, are there any draft names that you're eyeing? You guys are picking 26, which is, that's awesome. I feel like
Mhm. That's crazy. That's the
yeah.
craziest thing that's happened to us in a long time. I just want them to take the best player available
Okay. I've seen
because I feel like that would be the best option. I mean, our defense is not a huge concern, but I mean, it would be great to strengthen it.
That's fair. Yes. Okay. And so then I was like looking at your defensive roster because I know last year
Mhm.
during training camp, it was like a crazy time and there were
Yeah,
some
and everyone's
injuries on
hurt.
the backfield, like, yeah, in the back end and things like that. But then you guys went and got John Johnson, which was probably my favorite free
Yeah,
agency
I'm so
draft for you
excited for
guys.
that.
And then recently Jadavian Clowney. So you guys, are you excited about any of those? I feel like they've definitely tried throughout free agency to add some pieces
Yeah.
to the defense. So that coupled with the draft, I've seen a couple mocks of them sending linebackers or edge guys to you guys. So I feel like maybe the defense might sneakily improve.
Oh yeah, I hope so because that'd
Yeah.
be so great. Because then, hey, maybe we win 2 playoff games or more.
There we go. There we go. And then you recently extended. I know they did the 5th-year option for Baker
Yeah, for
Mayfield.
Baker.
So he's going to be playing in a contract year. Do you think that also just adds a little bit of juice to potentially?
Yeah, I think so. I think that they should just sign him because
Okay.
this is just my opinion. I think they should just do it because one, when is this ever going to happen for the Browns again?
Mm-hmm.
Probably we don't know because anything bad could happen. 2, if you sign him first, you're not going to have to pay him as much as Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. And you can
That's
spend money
true.
on other
And
people.
I can't imagine that he's going to go out there this season and not just put on a complete show.
Yeah.
Again, guys play up to contract years like crazy.
Mhm.
So he's just going to like
So we're
run up
hoping.
their checkbooks at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do as a Browns fan. And what is like the fan base? I don't have like a heavy pulse. I don't really follow a lot of Browns Twitter. So like I don't have a heavy pulse on what's going on. Is the fan base all in on Baker for the
Oh
most
my God,
part?
they're so annoying about it.
Okay.
Like I like to be a real fan. I like to say like, hey, I think this guy is good, and I think they'll say he's better than Patrick Mahomes any day. You ask him.
Got it. Okay.
You know those type of people.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
But I can't fault them because
stand behind your team. Right. You need
if
those
we
fans.
don't win. So when you win games, crazy stuff happens. And
Right.
people start doing some crazy stuff too.
That's totally fair. Would you be interested in them getting some more weapons around him for just
Oh yeah. I said
security?
draft a receiver at 26. He yelled at me. I said, that would be so fun. It's a great receiving class.
I would not hate that, especially it's kind of like what the Cowboys did last year when it was
Yeah.
just like we need pieces on defense, but then CD Lamb kind of fell and you're like,
You're like, come on.
yeah, right. Like let's just grab him, and then you have this super team of receivers.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would like to see that too.
Yeah, and
this
like we
linebacker-
can't keep Odell and Jarvis forever.
I know. And then obviously hoping for an Odell comeback, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Just as a fan of football, he's an easy guy to root for. So you want to see him succeed this
Yeah,
year.
definitely.
Fingers crossed that happens. Cool. So recently, like going around NFL socials, the jersey number changes. Are there any players that you want to see change jersey numbers? If so, who and what number?
I would like to see Odell in 3. I feel like that'd be so cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just a big Odell guy, so anything he does, I'm like, I love it.
Same. That's so funny. When he did go to Cleveland, I was like, my last name's Brown, and I was like, my dad literally said, when I was like in like middle school becoming a fan of football, I was like, what team do I pick, Dad? And he's like, pick the Browns. Our last name's Brown. And I was like, no, I don't like their colors.
Yeah, you don't want to lose every year.
I was like, are they good? I think I did say, I think I said, are they good? And I don't like their colors, which now I actually would wear brown and like as an adult, love brown and orange.
Mm-hmm.
I missed out on that.
Like 3 years ago, uniforms terrible. Now these ones are really good.
I like them. How do you feel about the Bengals uniforms? I know
I like them.
You hate them?
I don't like them. No, I like them.
Oh, okay.
I love them actually. Like their ones before, they looked like they were playing in the like XFL.
I know.
Like these are crisp, clean, not a lot going on. That looks better on the football field.
Yeah. Before it was very Pop Warner. It was a lot. Yeah, it was very
Yeah, like the
interesting.
Seahawks, not a fan of those uniforms.
Me?
I think they're doing too much. Maybe back it up a little.
Yeah, like subtle pops of like the lime green.
Yeah,
I like
not
that.
the whole lime green.
Wait, what?
Like they're, yeah, you know, the ones where it's just lime green, lime green, lime green, lime green shoes, socks, jersey,
Yeah,
pants.
that's a nightmare. Every time I want, like when I'm watching the game, it actually upsets me.
Yeah, it reminds me of like some little kid going to play AAU basketball, and that's what he decided to wear.
And he's like, "Mom, I'm gonna match."
Yeah.
I'm picturing my little brother getting ready for basketball practice.
And all those things.
And head to toe, like with his headband, his like Nike Elite socks.
The little stripes up the back, yeah.
I cry. Yes. Oh my God. And everything had to match. Oh, that was so funny. And you're like, no. Like matching doesn't have to necessarily. Okay. You do you, whatever.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah. So then you got me so off track with my question.
Sorry.
But I think this is why you're so easy to talk to. Okay. All right. Getting the full Goudy experience. I love that. What are Browns fans' expectations for this upcoming season? Obviously, coming off of last year and that just being, I'm counting it as success. I know, as a lot of teams are like, success is winning the Super Bowl. We want to go all the way. I get that, but that was such an incredible season for you guys to win a playoff game, not just make it to the playoffs, but to win a playoff game. So what are the expectations going into this year? What is going to satisfy you as a Cleveland Browns fan?
Well, making to the playoffs, I thought that was it. Like I thought I peaked in my football journey. I like that was so cool. We don't do that. Like that was the best day ever. And then we won a game.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh my God. I would say a successful season, 2 playoff game wins, maybe. This is ridiculous to say, but like a Super Bowl, that team is so good, they should be able to get there.
I can absolutely see it happening. And I feel like Super Bowls are okay. This past one was the Chiefs and the Bucks, so it was kind of like expected.
Yeah, it was just like they had to do it. It's such a classic. You need the Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady.
I really wouldn't have prior to the season though predicted it, because I often feel like Super Bowls are like these odd job teams that you're like them. Like it's usually like those kind of middle of the pack guys where like they don't look like a super team, but they're also not bottom of the barrel. Like we know the teams that are like just going to be skirting by. But I feel like 2 super teams made it, and that surprised me a little bit. That's why I think the Browns are in perfect position based on my normal formula for how Super Bowls work. I think that they're in perfect position to be one of those teams that has a great roster, has a talented quarterback. Like you check all the boxes, but you're not too good that it's like
you're not over the top, but you're in the top, but not over.
Boom. There we go. Exactly. Yeah. So last question. Do you root for any other teams in or around Cleveland? You said the Indians. You went to Indians games growing up. Cavs too. All Cleveland.
Yes. All 3 of them.
What about college?
I mean, like I will go. I've been to Ohio State a lot of times. I will go to an Ohio State game. They're fun. I will go to the games. I will have a blast. But I'm not going to like cry if they lose, like these grown men that cry over it. I mean, I like college. I like college athletes. I want them all to do really well, and I want them to make a career out of it.
Same.
So
love that.
I just like to appreciate them all.
Yeah. So you're going to be at the draft on Friday night. I saw that too, I think, on Twitter. So everybody will be around town looking for Gabb. If you're in the city of Cleveland, you heard all the hot spots that she said you need to go to. Follow her on Twitter and definitely on Instagram. Her Instagram is like quality. Favorite place to follow you.
Thanks.
I appreciate you jumping on here and joining me. You're really so easy to talk to.
I
think normally I'm like, I'm interview mode, and you're very fun to talk to.
I know. I feel like I would rather just do like, because a lot of things when you talk to people, it's more like question, but I just like to make it we're hanging out.
You're so effortless, and even if because I'm normally, if I don't know you, I'm normally like that, but you just like pulled it right. You're like, no, we're getting casual with this. I love that. I'll have to, like, if I'm starting a podcast anytime soon, I'll have to have you on again. Very easy to talk to.
Tell me when I'm there.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much. I'm so glad I finally got to like sit down and talk to you.
You
We've followed each other for a while. Thanks again for joining me. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you so soon.